All right, this has been a long while coming. There's a member of the lock sport community called Tim Digby, who runs an organisation called Digby Locks and Picks. And about a year ago, he advertised that he was creating his first lock. The idea of the lock was for it to be a challenge to the lock picking community, so the first person who picks it gets prizes. And almost a year after we first heard about it, it is now available. He's made 78 of these. As far as I understand, he hand makes them himself out of brass. This is really heavy. I don't know how heavy it is, but it's pretty heavy, as his amazing logo. Let's have a look at what we have. So he said that it was an homage to lever locks. I don't know if that means it is actually a lever lock or not, but you can see why he would say it was an homage. The key itself, honestly, is kind of beautiful, with the D logo on it, and then this sort of stripe effect on there, and then this shape. I don't know, I wonder if that's functional in some way, or if it's just to look attractive. Let's see. Let's get the lock out. Wow, that is heavy. This is definitely solid brass. I'm worried I'm going to get fingerprints on it now. How beautiful is that? Oh, number 57, so these were all numbered. I think he made 78 of them, something like that. Held together with screws, so we can have a look inside. That'll be interesting. I'm going to lay this down. See what happens when we put the key in. The key is symmetrical, so I don't think there's a way round for the key. Put the key in, we turn it, and then I think we slide it. Is that right? How does this work? Keep turning. Okay, so I've just watched Digby's video, and you're supposed to turn it 90 degrees clockwise and then slide it across. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was just being very dumb. Okay, and now that it's in place, we can't turn the key or remove the key, so this is its unlocked position. And then we can slide it back to lock it into place. There we go. Alright, let's take the back off and see what we have inside here. Hopefully I'm not going to destroy it by doing this. I haven't taken the back off yet. Alright, so this back panel comes off. There it is. Not sure if this pattern on here is functional in any way or if it is just aesthetic again. What can we see? Well, let's have a look. We'll put the key in. And we'll turn it through 90 degrees. Oh, I see. So we're releasing these mechanisms here. Ah, I see. Okay, so I think you can sort of see how this works. Oops. Yeah, so these teeth here, if I try to slide the key in the unlocking direction, they're going to run up against these sort of C-shaped blockers. If I pull the key all the way across, then they are able to come down and up, which happens when I turn the key. Through 90 degrees, so you can see the teeth move away, and then once I'm fully in place, the teeth can just slide past those C shapes. You have to be pretty precise, actually. Now it looks like I should be able to turn. Oh, this will come out actually at this point, won't it? It looks like I should be able to turn the key back and bring the teeth down either side of that, but maybe not quite. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Let's see, I think this will drop out of here. But maybe not with the key in. That's holding it in place, isn't it? Yeah, so you can't lock it open basically. Well, that's fair enough. Now what I'm wondering is, can I just push these? Yeah. So I'm wondering what tools I should most usefully use just to push these teeth out of the way here. Oh, there's several sets of them. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I guess that's how you get something like bitting on here, so that you slide all these different teeth the right distance to get them out of the way. And I guess that's what picking will involve. Oh, except yeah, I don't know how you're going to pick this, because you have access to nothing in there. It's going to be an interesting challenge. But I'm not actually trying to pick it, I just want to take it apart at this point. But that involves getting all these teeth, both top and bottom, out of the way of the C-shaped barrier here, which is not going to work with this as a tool. Oh wait, right, yeah, so this shaping of these teeth I think is very clever, because it means if you try and tension this without being very clever, I don't know what that would involve, but if you tension it, you're just going to lock the teeth into this C-shaped piece here, making it very difficult to pick. I think it's probably a very clever design. Alright, well, if I can get this out of here, I'll show you. Okay, all the teeth are out of the way, now I just need to use my third hand. Yeah, you require another person here. This is where I think it's clever. So I've got all these teeth out of the way, and if I was able somehow to get at this from the keyway and get these into position, unless I maintain the tension on these pins or levers, they're going to fall back. But if I do maintain that tension by the normal mechanism of putting tension on the keyway itself, then I'm going to lock these into place on the wrong side. So I'm going to have to use some rather different kind of technique from regular tensioning to get this to work. Either that will be very well coordinated with when you do things. I'm not quite sure why this isn't working actually now. One thing I'm wondering about, on the bottom here there are three rows of three of these sort of levers. On the top there are 2 rows of them that are down, and I think there's another row that is stuck up in the unlocked position. If that just means I haven't quite got it. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So that is interesting, because that is an example of one of these sets of teeth or levers being tensioned and held in place. So yeah, there's a little iota of hope there for somebody who might come to pick this lock. It's happened again. Oh, that's interesting. Now I've got those tensioned, and hopefully these not tensioned. So okay, so tensioning does something here. In this case I'm tensioning by pushing on these bolts. So you'd actually have to apply tension by sliding the keyway across, or pushing it in a horizontal direction, but well, now why is that not moving? See, to me it looks like I've got everything open now. All the teeth in the right place are, but maybe just not quite. Yeah, they're actually okay. I see. Those front row of teeth, the front columns of teeth on both sides are actually just caught against the mechanism here. So although it looks like they're completely sort of clear and free, they're not quite. That is not quite enough to get this open. Oh, there we go. Ah, right. And now we've fallen into the next level. Oh, this is so ingenious. Okay, so this is what's going to happen, you see. If you're picking this, you're going to get it past the first set of teeth, and then you're going to hit the second set. Okay, let's see if I can get it past the next set then. Okay, but at least this makes me think that, assuming you can find some way of reaching these pins, I have no idea if that's possible or not, but assuming there is some way, then picking this isn't necessarily completely impossible. Look at that, I can maintain the tension on here just from the weight of the lock itself. Okay, so one of the teeth there slipped back and then they all did, so let's just try this again. And again, my intent here isn't really to prove whether it's pickable or not. My intent is just to get the thing apart. But if as a side effect I can show how it might be picked, that would be a nice bonus. Ah, pins keep slipping back again. Do we call these pins? I keep thinking of them as teeth. I don't know why. They're not pins in any normal sense. Maybe we should call them levers by analogy with lever locks, but I don't think they're really the same. I'm going to go with teeth, I think. I like that. I think it worked well when I had it in my right hand. The tool in my left hand. Let's try that again then. There it is in a halfway, well no, 1/3 of the way actually to being open state. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah, you got to be really careful. You see, my instinct is to apply this tension straight away, and then you can see the teeth just lock immediately in there, and then there's no way that you'll get them. Those teeth will not move up and down now. So you have to push the teeth first and then apply the tension. Okay. I've got it into that state again where it feels like it ought to go, but it just won't quite because the teeth aren't quite out the way, I guess. This is the other clever thing, by the way. These teeth that we've moved out of the way pull down another set of teeth, and so if you were to keep over pushing them, over setting them effectively, you'd actually pull more teeth into position. So you've got to get it absolutely in exactly the right position to the nearest sort of 1/10 of a millimetre or something. Tolerances on this are pretty amazing, I think. This really feels... oh no, not quite, that one's out. Ah, there we go. There's one more. There we go. Now we're 2/3 of the way there. You can see that on that side. Will it come out yet? No, not quite. I think if I get it the final one, then I should be able to get it out, hopefully. But we'll see. Right, one more to go. To rest my hands, as you can see. All right, so for the final set of teeth or pins or whatever we want to call them, I'm going to come at them from the other side this time, just because there's more room. In fact, I'm not sure my tool will even fit down the right-hand side. So I'm going to do this, and again, it seems to have worked best in my hand. Now I'm not going to have much to play with here because there's only a couple of millimeters of these bolts poking out, so maybe it's going to be more like my thumb. Oh, and actually this time I guess we don't have the hook shape on these pins, so that might make it a little easier. We'll see. Ooh. There's a bit of residual tension there holding some pins in place. Let's see. Just getting enough tension on this is hard. I seem to be struggling to get this third set of teeth to lock into position, to set, in other words. I don't know if you can see the top ones here, the front top set of 3 teeth are always getting stuck in place. I think that might be being tensioned actually just by the back plate of the lock mechanism rather than this thing, but in any case those ones are stuck for now, which is where I want them to be, so that's good. But these ones, the others just won't go into place, or at least they won't stay in place rather. So they're in place right now, I think. So one point is, am I trying to push against the tools now? That might be a problem. No, I don't think that is the problem. I think we'd get at least a millimetre of movement and then they'd lock into place, so something else is happening here. How's this for an unsophisticated attempt at getting the thing open? I still don't think it'll come out. The angle's just going to be wrong. There's just no gaps there to let that through. Let's try this, shall we? Maintaining that constant pressure with my fingers is really not doing my fingers any good. Maybe a vise will help now if these teeth aren't going to lock into place. Let's try that. Go for the top end here first and see what that do. Oh no, wow, that's way too much tension. These pins just won't move now. Yeah. Okay, so let's loosen this off a bit then. Okay. So now I can move the pins, and then I can apply the tension. Right. Okay, that might be good. Let's see then if that works. Sorry about the angle here, not very viewable, I know. Ah, but now I've got tension down here as well. This is the problem, isn't it? Oh, they will move. Oh yeah, those ones will move fine actually. Okay, some of them are moving quite easily and some of them are quite tight, so what's going on? Is there one of those teeth that still has that kind of hook shape to it maybe? Is that what's happening? Can't tell. See, this top row moved just fine. And a little stiff, but not too bad. The second row will move, but super stiff. Okay, but that's quite good actually. Those are well and truly locked now. Oh, there we go. So now it's just these bottom ones that I have to get. Okay, so they're all in place now. Oh, has it moved? It's done it. Yes. Yay! Okay. Now let's have a look. Let's see what we can do. Get the lock out of the clamp. And now I think this will just drop out, right? Or is there some reason why it won't? I think just friction maybe. Yeah, these things are just about caught in there. I feel like if I'm going to scratch the brass here, but if I push on that with something. That should be gettable. It's coming. Yeah, it's just caught. It's like the size. Again, the tolerances here are astonishingly close. Is there any more give in this? Don't think so. How did he get these in the first place? Maybe there is a little more room to move this. I don't know why I'm using this. I'm just using this because it's plastic, so I won't scratch it. Not good on the fingers though. And it's not quite enough. Okay, I think it just has to come out all at once vertically, rather than if it starts to go at an angle, then the bottom of these cylinders starts pushing against the brass there, so you sort of want a jerk. My instinct is to kind of stretch the metal with my thumbs as if it were 3D printed plastic or something, but no way, no way. Come on, surely. You know what's interesting? I wanted to make this video not with the intent of being the first person to pick it, because, you know, there are way better lock pickers and experts on locks than me. But I wanted to make this video to show, again, a point I've made a few times, which is the relationship between locks and puzzles. This is very much like a puzzle. I mean, it was designed as a puzzle, really, I would say. By Tim Digby. It's a lock, certainly, and I imagine you could use it as a functional lock, but that's not really how he intended it to be used. He intended it to be a challenge to the lock-picking community in much the same way that puzzles are challenges. And, you know, if it were designed as a puzzle, you wouldn't just have screws, you'd have some other way of getting this back plate off, but, you know, looking past that, it is very much a puzzle. This step, I suspect, there we go, I think we're getting this out now. See, this step requires just a little bit of thinking about physics as much as anything. This is going to be hard to do without a bit of momentum. There we go, it's coming, I think, now. I don't know if you can see that. It's just shifted a few millimeters. There's a gap there. I could put something in that gap actually, and that would at least stop it from falling back into place, if nothing else. Okay, maybe I will put something with some metal in there and prise it out a bit, but I don't want it to come out again at an angle. I need it to sort of drop down all in one go, which is happening. There it is. You see it just coming out here. Wow, that is so tight. That is so tight. There we go. This is coming now. I really don't want to damage it, but I am going to have to push quite hard on this, I think, to get it to come out now. There we go. It's almost out. Wow, putting this together must have been amazing. There we go. Hey. Okay, look at the incredible workmanship on this. I mean, I don't know much about crafting things out of brass, but I can tell this is some pretty impressive skill. So let's have a look at how this works. We've got some springs here. I don't know what the idea of those springs is. Oh, right, of course. Of course you have to have springs, right, to keep the teeth in the right position. So here we are in the locked state, right? So these teeth here want to move past this sort of C-shaped blockage, which, by the way, unless I'm mistaken, is all a single piece with the body, so it's not like you could sort of shift these out of the way somehow. So let's put the key in and watch what happens as we turn it. As we turn it, oh wow, look at this. Love this circular piece here. I better keep these in place or everything will fall out. We turn that and we get those into the right position. So now you can sort of see how this post can slide down in the gap between these teeth. And notice if I keep turning, this set of teeth now gets in the way. So if you overturn, you've got it locked again. So this is the normal locked state, the one in which I think you can, oops, remove the key. Yeah, and also pull that panel off. That's just held in place with friction. So the big question for me is, if someone is going to pick this, what on earth are they going to do? I really don't know. I mean, I think theoretically it's got to be possible. I mean, you can, in the very worst case, you could manufacture some tool that, you know, was the same shape as the key. And we know that works. The question is, without that, how do you turn these such that they open? I just don't know. I'm guessing rotating these is the idea, but yeah, I guess I could try and take this further apart. These will come out relatively straightforwardly, but I think I've seen enough. I think you get the idea of how this lock works. So, as I said, this is the Alpha lock. This is Tim Digby's first lock. I see he has a Bravo lock advertised on his website now, which is a completely different looking beast, which I shall also be ordering. There are, as I said, I think something like 78 of these Alpha locks in the world. I think everyone now who ordered one has one, so I'm expecting we'll get the first pick hopefully fairly soon. And at least what I've been able to do is show, you know, the internal mechanisms of the lock, which, by the way, genius, and also maybe a hint of some hope that it's possible to pick it. I mean, the process I did, obviously I was cheating because I had access from the back, which is very different from regular picking, but I was doing the same thing. The question is just whether you can get at enough things through the keyway. I'm guessing it's going to mean applying tension in a rotational way on these kind of discs that are in there somewhere, but how that's all going to work, I don't know. Here we can see the shape of the levers, for want of a better name, or teeth as I was calling them, and they slide in here and they need to be moved all into the correct position. I do love this business of the kind of hook shape on these ones. I wonder why these top ones don't have a hook. I'm going to guess there's a good reason for that, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, so there we go. That's Tim Digby's extraordinary Alpha lock. I'm very much excited to see the first person who manages to pick this lock. Watch this space. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see another amazing lock, check out this video right here. Bye.